All right, if you're a trader, you know this feeling, that endless, frustrating hunt for the perfect strategy. The one magical system that's supposed to finally unlock consistent profits. But what if I told you that that entire search is pointed in completely the wrong direction? Today, we're going to dive into the real reason most traders fail. And spoiler alert, it has almost nothing to do with the strategy you're using.
We have all been there, right? You have a bad week, a few losses string together, and what's the first thought? My system's broken. I need a new one. And that kicks off that hamster wheel, doesn't it? Jumping from one strategy to the next, chasing the next hot indicator, always convinced that the perfect setup is just around the corner. But what if that's the wrong chase entirely? Okay, but hang on. Let's just pause for a second and throw out a kind of radical idea here. What if your current strategy is actually good enough? What if it already has a proven statistical edge, but there's something else, something huge, getting in the way? This is where we need to completely shift our focus. All right, so let's get into what I call the 90% problem. It's this fundamental, massive misunderstanding of where the real battle in trading is actually fought. And let me tell you, it's not on your charts. The real war is fought right between your ears. I mean, look at this. This is where we all start, isn't it? We pour like 90% of our energy into the technicals, the charts, the indicators, the endless back testing. We treat psychology as that tiny little 10% afterthought, something we'll get to later, once we've finally perfected the skill part. But here's the reality check, and it's a total 180. The truth is, your strategy, that's just the 10%. That's the price of admission. That just gets you a seat at the table. The other 90%, the part that actually determines whether you win or lose in the long run, is pure psychology. It all comes down to your ability to execute your plan when real money is on the line and emotions are running high. I mean, think about this for a second. Give two traders the exact same profitable trading plan, all the same rules. I guarantee you one will end the month in profit and the other might break even or even lose money. So why? It's because one trader gets antsy and snatches profits way too early, while the other one has the guts to let it run. One gets greedy and doubles down on a whim, while the other sticks to the rules no matter what. It's the same plan, but different minds lead to totally different results. Okay, to really nail this down and make it stick, I've got a super simple analogy that I think makes it all click: the driver and the car. So, first up, your trading strategy. That's the car. It's the vehicle, the tool that's designed to get you from point A to point B, to your financial goals. Maybe it's a screaming fast supercar. Maybe it's just a reliable old sedan. Doesn't really matter. Any decent car can get you where you need to go. But here is the absolute key to all of this. You are the driver. Your mind, your discipline, your emotional control, that is what is behind the wheel. And you can have the best car in the entire world, but it's completely useless if the driver is panicked, reckless, or doesn't know how to read a map. And this is where it all comes together, right? That reckless driver, that's you when you go way too big on your leverage after a nice win. The scared driver, that's you cutting a perfectly good winning trade short because you're afraid to give back a little profit. And the driver who won't follow the map, well, that's the trader who just throws their plan out the window on a whim. The car is perfectly fine. The problem is always the driver. So, okay, if we're the problem, how exactly are we crashing this car? Well, it all comes down to one single destructive habit. We break our own rules. Now, this can be a tough pill to swallow, but it is the absolute truth. If you go back and actually journal your trades honestly, you'll probably find that your system, on paper, is profitable. The brutal truth is you don't let it work. You're the one who steps in and messes it all up, skipping entries, moving your stop loss, abandoning the rules the second the pressure is on. Your strategy isn't breaking, you are breaking the strategy. And these are the guys fighting you for the steering wheel. You've got greed, yelling at you to risk way too much. You've got fear, whispering in your ear to just take the small profit and run. You've got impatience, screaming at you to jump into a trade that isn't even ready yet. And in the heat of the moment, they all feel so justified, don't they? But in reality, it is pure sabotage. Okay, so if all these emotions are the enemy, what's our shield? What's our weapon? Well, it isn't a new indicator, and it's not some secret strategy you buy online. The true edge, the one thing that separates the pros from the amateurs, is discipline. And we need to be crystal clear about what discipline actually is.
It is not about being a robot and feeling nothing. You are always going to feel fear. You're always going to feel greed. Discipline is the ability to feel those emotions bubbling up inside you and still do the right thing, still execute your plan flawlessly. It is not the absence of emotion, it's controlled action in the presence of emotion.
It's so easy to get this mixed up. We think discipline is about motivation or being super confident or being some kind of market genius, but it's not. It's much quieter than that. It's about stability. It's about consistency. It's showing up and executing your plan the exact same way, day after day, whether you feel amazing or you feel absolutely terrible. Man, this quote just nails it. The market does not care about your one brilliant call. It rewards relentless, almost boring consistency. A trader with a B-plus strategy who follows it with A-plus discipline, they're going to run circles around the genius who has an amazing plan but executes it with C-minus emotions. Consistency is the thing that lets your statistical edge actually play out over time.
All right, so let's start to bring this all home. The real transformation as a trader, the real level up, isn't finding some magic indicator out there. It's an inside job. It's a journey from blaming the market to finally mastering yourself.
This right here, this is the flip you gotta switch in your brain. It's about changing your internal monologue. So instead of a loss making you say, this setup is garbage, it makes you stop and ask, hold on, where did I screw up? Did I follow my own rules? That shift from blaming everything out there to taking responsibility for what's in here, that is the entire game.
So really, this is the path. This is the whole journey in 3 steps. Step 1, you learn a skill. You find a strategy. That gets you started. Step 2, you have to understand your own psychology. That's what keeps you from blowing up. It keeps you in the game. But step 3, the final step, the part that actually makes you profitable, is that relentless, day-to-day application of discipline.
And that right there is the fundamental truth of it all. We all get into this thinking we have to master the market, but you can't. It's uncontrollable. The real challenge, the reason this is so incredibly hard, is that it is a game of mastering yourself. And that is one of the hardest things any human being can do.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question, and I really want you to think about this. Look at your own journey. Are you going to keep endlessly searching for a faster car, for that next perfect strategy? Or are you finally ready to do the real work, to look in the mirror and start training the person behind the wheel? Your answer to that question is going to define your entire future in the markets.